Hopefully, Mary Lou, you will be joined by our main speaker tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the Waterford Sinn Féin election candidate, Councillor David Cullinane.
You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down.
Akarja Foilgerove Galair. First of all, I want to thank our Director of Elections, Declan Clune, for taking a couple of years off my life when he said I was in my early 30s. I was looking down on my family and they were smiling. I'm 36, but thanks for the compliment. I want to sincerely thank Mary Lou MacDonald, first and foremost, for coming down and travelling down from Dublin to be with us here today. I think Mary Lou is an excellent public representative for the party, and we wish her the very, very best of luck in her efforts and all of the candidates in Dublin in their efforts to get elected to the Dáil. I also want to thank my own family, my mother and my father, my two brothers, my sister, my wife Kathleen, who is a candidate in the Carlow-Kilkenny constituency. Our son Emmett is almost 4. He's 4 on the day of the election, and unfortunately he won't see much of his mother and father over the next couple of weeks, but hopefully after the election he'll be able to say that his mother and father are TDs for Carlow-Kilkenny and for Waterford. I want to thank all of the party supporters, all of the members of the party and members of the public who've turned up to tonight's event as well. As Mary Lou said, this is one of the most important elections ever to face the people of this state, because we all know the problems in the economy. We all know that our economy has collapsed because of the failure of the policies of Fianna Fáil, and I would argue the same policies which were espoused by Fine Gael and Labour as well. We know about the crash in the banking system. We know that working people are getting hammered by this government. We know that we have 460,000 people in this state who are out of work. And we know that 14,600 people in Waterford are also out of work and looking for employment. And our launch tonight is about looking to the future. Our launch is about putting forward the ideas and the policies and the proposals that we have to change things for the better. Because we in Sinn Féin believe there is a better way. And we in Sinn Féin believe that we can solve the big problems that we do have in Ireland. And while the other political parties are promising more of the same in terms of their economic policies and their social policies, it is Sinn Féin and Sinn Féin alone who is providing a genuine alternative to the people of this country. But before I talk about the future and all of the policies which we will put forward, I want to firstly bring people back 3.5 years to the 2007 general election campaign. And I stood in this very hotel at this very podium, and it was a very, very different Ireland. It was the Ireland of the Celtic Tiger. There was lots of wealth about the place, and we celebrated that wealth. But we also cautioned against wasting the money that was being created by the taxpayers of this country and the ordinary people of this country. And we warned against the fundamental problems that we saw in the economy and the cracks that were beginning to appear. We warned against the overdependence on construction and consumption. We warned against our public finances being built on sand. We warned against the light touch regulation that we had in the banks. We warned against the relationship that existed between Fianna Fáil and developers and bankers and that golden circle and a wealthy elite. We warned against the corruption that was endemic in the Irish political system. And we argued for something better. We argued that the wealth that was being created by the people of Ireland should be for the benefit of all of the people of Ireland and not just vested interests. We argued for a banking system that would work for all citizens. We argued for world-class public services. And we argued for an economy that would deliver for all of its citizens and all of its people. And look what happened during that election campaign. All of the political parties, from Fianna Fáil to Fine Gael and to the Labour Party, ganged up on Sinn Féin and claimed that if Sinn Féin was in government, if Sinn Féin had the balance of power, that we would ruin the economy and would bring about economic chaos. Well, look at what happened over the last number of years. all of the policies that we warned against are the very policies that have brought about the economic ruin that we have in Ireland today. All of the policies that we warned against are the ones that have delivered chaos in our banking system, that have delivered tens of billions of euro of taxpayers' money, which has gone to bail out private banking debt, to bail out developers. And it is ordinary working people who opened up their pay packets in the first week of January and took that heavy hit. And it was ordinary working people who are struggling to pay their mortgages, who are juggling between paying utility bills and putting food on the table, and who are working very, very hard, week in, week out, but see less of their money in their pockets because they are being asked to pay for all of the mistakes that this government has made. And yet, despite all of that, and despite the evidence of who is to blame for the economic mess that we have in this country, we still have the same tactics being employed by the same parties as we gather here today. And if you listen to any of the debates which are taking place across the airwaves, the length and breadth of the country, again you see the same establishment parties of Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael and Labour, again claiming that Sinn Féin cannot be trusted on the economy. And we are absolutely confident in our position that the policies that we put forward in 2007, the very same policies that we are putting forward today, are the right policies for this country. I'm an Irish Republican, and as Mary Lou MacDonald spoke about earlier, we want to see the Republic, and a genuine Republic. We want to see a united Ireland, we want to see a fair Ireland, we want to see a better Ireland. I believe in the politics and the vision and of the ideals that were espoused in the proclamation that was read out by Pádraig Pearse in 1916. And that's not to look back to the past, but that's to again remind ourselves of what the founding fathers and mothers of this state promised the people of Ireland all those years ago. They promised us the ownership of Ireland to the people of Ireland, that Irish people would be in control of their own affairs and their own destinies, religious and civil liberties for all citizens, and all the children of the nation should be treated equally. And compare and contrast what they espoused at that time and what they were asking that should be in place for the people of this country to what we have here today in Ireland, where we have the IMF who are in running the country, where we have a government who are asking us to pay for private banking debt, where we have working people who are telling me on a daily basis that it is becoming too expensive to work, where we have 460,000 people in this state out of work, where we have all of those young people that Mary Lou MacDonald spoke about that are getting onto the planes to head for Australia and America, Europe, Britain and everywhere else. Graduates who we have put through the education system so that they can have the best chance in life. Young people who have invested so much in their education and yet they have to leave our shores because of the policies of this government and because of the policies that are being put forward by the other opposition parties as well. The most important thing that we need to do over the next number of weeks is to, and as public representatives, both myself and Mary Lou and all of the Sinn Féin candidates will do that, is to argue for a better way and to take on all of the naysayers, to take on our political opponents, this argument about Sinn Féin and the economy, because we are right on the economy. And what separates Sinn Féin from the other political parties is that we do not sign up to that consensus which is shared by Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael and Labour. What separates us from all those political parties is that we do not sign up to the policies that have brought about the kind of misery that so many working people and people who are out of work are being inflicted by. We don't sign up to the 4-year plan that was espoused by this government because we believe it will not work, because we believe that the government are trying to take too much money out of the economy too quickly. And that's why we called for a 6-year strategy to reduce the deficit.